You are where you are today because of the thoughts and actions you had yesterday. The question is, where do you want to be tomorrow? People hear the word manifestation and think of magic. But manifestation is another word for blueprint. A blueprint is useless unless from it comes creation. Today we're talking about manifesting and creating and how using those two in unison you can leverage them to achieve any amount of success. Okay, so what is manifestation? Well, manifestation is the subconscious materialization of your thoughts, essentially. So then creation, well, we're all pretty familiar with creating things, right? You create lots of fucking things. It's the physical action of doing something, right? You're putting your hands on something, you're building something that's real. Like separately, maybe not entirely useless, but you would have, a blueprint, but a blueprint on its own is gonna do nothing. And creating something without a blueprint, well, who knows where it's gonna go, right? But when you put the two together, when you build off of a plan, you get your desired outcome. So manifesting and creating is the same thing. The manifesting is the psychological part, right? You're thinking, you see your goal, you see your endpoint, you know what you're aiming for. And creating is the hands-on part, it's the working part, right? And collectively, together, you get your best outcome. You've created what you've envisioned. What you plant is what you reap. You reap what you plant, right? And actually, in this very infamous book, As a Man Thinketh, there's a quote in here. When I was reading it, it says, "His wishes and prayers are only gratified and answered when they harmonize with his thoughts and actions." So what a man wishes for and prays for, they only materialize when they're harmonious with his thoughts and his action, right? So, same concept, different words. You're thinking it, and when that is in tune, aligned with your actions, the physical work you're putting in, you get something, right? So what's an example of this? Well, I'll pull from a personal example of this, and I got a few, and then I'm not sure what the best one is, or if any of them are really great. But let's see. So I went to the Caribbean when I was 22 years old, and so I grew up on Pirates of the Caribbean, and so like the Caribbean always just spoke to me. That place was like the fucking coolest place in the world, and I swore one day I was gonna live there, and you know what? I still do. So anyways, I couldn't go as a kid, underage, obviously, and then I turned of age, and then fucking COVID happened, so I couldn't go, and then like, whatever, 2 years later, whatever, it cleared up, and we were good to go, and I had that desire to go there, and I knew I wanted to go there young, and so I had that money saved up. We booked our plane tickets, and Sweets and I, we flew into the Caribbean, and we had never traveled before, ever, like ever, and we lived on this little island that nobody knows about for an entire month, man. We were scared shitless in the beginning. Like on our taxi ride from the airport to our hotel, it was like midnight, and like we're like fucking terrified, right? If there was like a go back button, totally would have hit it. And like that trip was nothing short of fucking incredible, man. It's in my like top 3 experiences of my entire life, like that. It's just an incredible experience. So again, something I manifested in the sense of as a kid, I saw this place and thought it was super cool and I must go there. And I took action by having the balls to physically go there, right? And working and saving up that money and figuring out who was gonna look after my cats. When I was like 14, so 10 years ago, I wanted to, in my future, be in really good shape. I wanted to be covered in tattoos. I wanted to have my motorcycle. I wanted to have a woman in my life. I wanted a wife. I wanted to be free more than anything. I wanted to control my own time and what I did and where I went. Maybe back then I didn't really want money so much because I didn't really have too much of a concept of it. It didn't apply to me at the time. But I wanted all of this while I was still young. Right, so maybe these aren't the best examples, but the underlying principle is still the same, right? You envision what you want, you reverse engineer it to where you currently are, you figure out the steps to get what it is you desire. You get what you want physically doing something, right? Big action. Good mentality plus good solid action is going to give you good results. And if you're getting shitty results, if you're in a shitty place in life right now, we'll reverse engineer it. You are where you are today because of yesterday, right? So you're in a shitty place because of a choice you made previously. Now obviously there are things that are out of your control. You get bad strokes of luck. I understand that. You do control your thoughts, you do control your mind, you do control what you let in, what choices and action you take. You are responsible for your life. So if you're in a shitty place, you know, your mental's not doing too good, you're broke, you're not physically where you want to be, you're not in the physical shape you want to be in, not doing what you want to do in your life, change your thoughts, man. Put good thoughts in, follow it up with good action. You can't have one without the other. The two of them combined, man, you'll get your good results. So, now that you know what manifesting and creating is, what will you do with it?